So it's been a very long and often challenging journey, but we've now got to the final card of the Major Arcana, and that card is the World. And this card is really about fulfillment, unity, and completion. And I would say completion is probably the strongest part of this card. Now, let's look at the card because there is so much symbolism on this card that is really important. So the first thing to look at on the card would be the eagle, the man, the lion, and the bull in all four corners of the card. And this is a representation of the Lamassu. And if we look at the book of Genesis, and again, I don't refer to the Bible very often, but I think this is relevant. These are the creatures that are guarding the Garden of Eden in the book of Genesis. Now, on top of that, we have the main figure in the middle, and at first it would appear to be a female figure. We can see the naked breasts on the figure, and they are wrapped up around the midriff as well. But this is actually a representation of the unity of male and female. This is what you would call a hermaphrodite. It's a male and female figure combined, and that is really a representation of the unity of opposites. It's often said that magic is the union of opposites, the union of male feminine, the red king and the white queen, unity. And that's really what this card is representing there in the main theme in the middle. Now, there is also the wreath around the figure, and this is a representation of completion. If you think to the imagery of the snake eating itself, the snake eating its tail, and it forms the ring, and that is just showing not just completion, but also the never-ending cycle, the constant change and movement. So that is very interesting representation of where you've actually got to within the journey, and you've now reached this point, and you reach this point of complete unity within yourself, with the outside world, with the internal to you. And it's also a representation that although you have reached the end of this journey, you've also reached the beginning. As I've said many times in other videos, this journey is never fully complete. So once you've reached the world, then you're straight back to card 0, the Fool, and the journey starts again. It just starts again from a different perspective, from a different stage. So you may have reach this point, say, on an intellectual level, but you haven't mastered the emotional level. So you will now take part in this journey again if you choose to, and do it from an emotional standpoint. The journey is never complete, basically. You are always working towards enlightenment, if you want to call it that. So you will have completed one aspect of your life, mastered it even, but then the journey starts again, and there is another aspect for you to master. And when you complete that journey, then you'll have another aspect to master on top of that. Whenever you make progress like this, I would say that you are essentially feeding your soul. And that's a very important thing. And I have mentioned this multiple times, but whether you are taking this journey with the knowledge of what you're doing, or you are just going through life, you are still on this journey. We all have this. And many people don't complete the first step or even the second step. So if you make it right the way through to the end, you've done something that very few people do. And then to keep mastering, to keep progressing, is something that is rarer and rarer. And there are a few historical figures that I would let you research yourself, and maybe you would even disagree with who these people are. But I would say there are a few historical figures that have really achieved this high level and completed multiple journeys. So I would also like to mention that whenever you master magic, it's almost a pointless thing to do unless you actually bring it into your physical life, unless you integrate it into your life and allow it to actually do what it can do. So, for example, if someone has mastered magic on some level, but their life is a mess, it's chaotic, they're struggling in lots of different aspects, then they haven't integrated the actual knowledge, the practicality of magic into their life. And that's something that they absolutely need to do, because they've mastered something but not mastered it in a way that has brought any relevance, any benefit to their life. It's okay having the knowledge internally, but if you don't bring that knowledge out and actually integrate it into every aspect, every single aspect that you can, then it's an exercise in doing something that's bringing you absolutely no benefit. And the whole point of magic, the whole point of this journey, is to benefit you, to then give back to the world, to benefit the people around you, the people that you care about, to benefit strangers even. And I don't want to sound sort of self-important or pompous even, but the whole reason why I started this YouTube channel was to share my experience with magic, to share, if you would call it, knowledge. I prefer to just call it experience, because I don't want to sound like I'm, some kind of wise mystic sage. I'm not, but I've had my experiences, and a lot of people are interested, and hopefully what I've shared, and will continue to share, will help people in some way. That's, a small aspect of me giving back what I've sort of challenged myself with. And I think that if we could all do that, and whether we are knowingly incorporating magic or not into it, it would just benefit everybody around us and would help each other as well. We all struggle, whether you are a master of magic or not. We all have life struggles, and we all need help. So that's sort of my thoughts on integrating magic. It's not good enough to just learn the knowledge and do the internal changes. You need to bring it out and actually, take that action with it as well. So thank you for watching. It's been a very, very long journey. When I first started this, had no idea that it would take me months to complete these videos, but I'm very glad that I started it and have now finished it. And every single interaction, every single like, every single share, comment, etc., is genuinely appreciated. It's the whole reason of why I even started doing this. So thank you so much.